The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on this refreshing episode 522 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Disney and Lucasfilm were holding out on us. What is this new thing? Is this how we're notified? By a Coke can?
It's just kind of a celebration of Star Wars in general.
I feel like Disney and Coke are seemingly working together more in this memory making.
Coke puts their spin on it. They're reaching for that Coke bottle, not a lightsaber.
Which character I am surprised is not in this. I'll see if you guys also notice and are surprised.
Now, who's this guy with the fist right behind him?
That is Chewbacca Mom.
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets loud.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! In this episode, Rebekah Mosely and Mike Celestino from laughingplace.com join us to discuss the new Star Wars Coke collaboration, Refresh Your Galaxy, which has just launched. And we're also going to break down the 2.5-minute Easter egg-filled commercial that just launched as well. So many Easter eggs. But now, we want to welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah, who's got a Stormtrooper and a Darth Vader on her head.
I figured it works very well with the Refresh Your Galaxy campaign, which is basically black, white, and red. So there you go. Stormtrooper, white, black is the Darth Vader, and red is our t-shirts, our Coca-Cola and Orabesh t-shirts from Galaxy's Edge.
I didn't notice your whole symbolic references until right now.
My color scheme.
Boy, you really thought this one through, didn't you?
I did. All right, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and maybe Coke fandom. That didn't come out right, but that's okay. So imagine a big Wookiee hug from us and a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. Now, Richard, every week we check our YouTube subscriber numbers. And so I know we were like on the cusp of 10,600 last week. Did we break that barrier?
Well, I can say that we did because, well, now we have a staggering 10,603.
Woohoo, we did it!
Yeah, but we just put out a whole bunch of videos. You were working all day yesterday on 4th of July, making a whole bunch of Opus clips, and I think this is what's going to really bring us to that next level.
Yeah, with Jurassic World coming out this week, Jurassic World Rebirth, I went through our back catalog and we talk about Jurassic Park a number of times. So I put out some Jurassic Park reels and some, I guess on YouTube they're called Shorts, thank you. I put them on YouTube as well as shorts. And yeah, they've been doing pretty well. Also,
we took a lot of the audio from last week's episode, the ridiculous Star Wars rumors, and you made a whole bunch of shorts and clips, and those have been doing very well. So I'm going to predict we're going to get a whole big jump next week.
I hope so. In fact, one of our videos got over 5,000 views, one of the shorts.
Oh, there you go.
The one about how Empire Strikes Back got its name.
Yeah,
so, there's
in Japan.
Some good nuggets.
So now we need 397 by Comic-Con in 3 weeks.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I know we can do it. You know what else we can do?
What?
We can tell everyone that we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations. And they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency that can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world, or on a Disney cruise, or the Universal Studios theme parks. And best of all, this service is free of charge. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. And then you can also do this again. Roar!
Roar!
Like our T-Rexes and our Snuffleupaguses from last week.
And our Dilophosaurus.
That's what I said.
Yes.
All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on July the 5th, 2025.
So, Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
Well, let's go back to July the 5th, 1948. And that's when a little baby William Hootkins was born. So, a happy 77th posthumous birthday to X-Wing pilot William Hootkins. And he played Jet Porkins in Star Wars A New Hope, or as they said in the film, Red 6. Oh, I guess they also did mention him by name, too.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Porkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He told Star Wars Insider in 1997, I never knew this, that he'd been offered the role of the human Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, wow.
Before they gave their part to Declan Mulholland, it was going to be William Hootkins in that furry vest.
Right.
And then when he looked at the script for Star Wars, he thought, oh, this is going to be the biggest disappointment in cinematic history.
Oh, no.
Then when he went in to do his X-Wing cockpit scenes, he saw his name, Porkins. So he just thought someone was going to rush in and put a little Porky Pig nose on him and little pig ears, because Porky. So it's all right there. He didn't know what species he was going to be.
He thought he was going to be some kind of alien.
Yeah.
How funny.
After that whole big Jabba the Hutt thing, that whole thing, maybe he went in for the audition and they said he was going to be an alien. He thought, okay, I'm going to be an alien here.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we also know William Hootkins from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And what was his big quote?
Top men.
Who? Top men. He was also in Batman, and he was also in an episode of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He didn't play the same character.
No, I wouldn't think so.
No, but maybe like a precursor to his character in Raiders, and like a grandfather or something. That would be funny. That would be really, really funny.
That would be great.
That didn't happen.
Well, thank you. I loved all that little info on William Hootkins.
Where else will you get this much information on William Hootkins than here on Skywalking Through Neverland, or in Today in Star Wars History?
That's right.
That would be in part 2. Now, let's refresh our galaxy with Coke and Star Wars. Oh, that should be a drink. Get a little rum and Coke, a little rum and Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars and Coca-Cola go back as far as the original film releases, when they collaborated with Burger King for their collectible posters and drinking glasses.
In 1999, Pepsi took over the soda promotions with the Phantom Menace. But in 2019, Coke took back the reins with the round thermal detonator bottles available at Galaxy's Edge. Now, Coca-Cola is collaborating with Star Wars once again with the new promotion, Refresh Your Galaxy.
There are new cans, bottles, and a new commercial filled with Easter eggs. And you know how much we love our Easter eggs. Now, here to talk about the press event and the new promotion is Rebekah Mosely from laughingplace.com, and the guy we should just make co-host at this point of Skywalking Through Neverland, Mike Celestino from Who's the Bossk podcast. Hey, Rebekah and Mike.
Hey, you guys. Glad to be back.
After the 600th time you've been on the show.
As a guest.
Now you're one of the co-hosts on Skywalking Through Neverland.
Am I at 600 already? Wow.
Something like that.
Close to it. But Rebekah,
yes,
this is your first time on Skywalking Through Neverland. So tell us about laughingplace.com and your fandom.
Well, Laughing Place is a website and now all sorts of other things YouTube channel, socials that my husband and I founded back in 1999. We met as Disneyland annual pass holders, fell in love, got married, founded a website, had a kid, and other people started taking over much more of what happens at Laughing Place, including Mike Celestino. He's our Star Wars guru around Laughing Place. So yeah, we just try and keep everybody informed on what's happening around the Disney company, and that now includes Star Wars, Marvel, ESPN, all sorts of other things. So never quite sure what's going to be happening day to day in my workplace. Thanks to that, add in a little Nat Geo, and it could be, something very nature filled. So quite the gamut of stuff.
You are a big Star Wars fan too, right, Rebekah?
I am. In fact, I brought evidence. Some very old and very well loved Star Wars comics from when I was little.
Wow, that's the original. That's the first issue right there.
Yeah, okay, so this one, in fairness, it's a reprint until you get to number 4 in the whole dynamic here. I missed out on the first 3, but
around here, we don't say old, we say classic.
Well, I don't know how my age differs from y'all, but my first, one of my earliest movie memories is actually waiting and seeing Empire Strikes Back in a cinema.
Oh, please, hold my Coke can, would you? Come on. You youngins, every one of you is a youngin.
Yeah, Rebekah, you're in between Richard and my ages.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm about Mike's age. He's got 1 year on me. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
But the way it would work at our family is we would go to the mall. There was a local mall. I grew up in Southern California, so Eagle Rock. I'd go to Eagle Rock, and we would pick up the novelization at the bookstore, and my mother would read that in line, holding our place for the movie. As we would make our way to the theater. So by the time we reached the movie, typically my mother had read through it, so then she could warn us if there was something scary. That was kind of
wow. That's taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
well, you got a good mom there.
Yes.
Yeah. She watched out for us. But so I have the childhood comics, and then when I became an adult, then the reissues came, and you could send in box tops and get little stormtroopers and things like that. So then I was able to add that to my collection, which is not nearly as extensive as either of yours. I must say. So. Well,
you can see in our background we have all this Star Wars collectibles, and Mike's got a lot of collectibles, and you're in a prison somewhere.
Yeah, I am.
Either that or a 1990s comedy show like we were talking about earlier. Get a brick wall.
100%. Yeah, that's me.
Any second now, I expect Kool-Aid to come smashing through that.
Now, or if you have a wand, that's the entrance to Diagon Alley right there.
So, Rebekah, back up and go running into the wall. See what happens. If you go right through to Hogwarts, then we'll know a little bit more about you.
Hey, if it'll get me some butterbeer, I'm in.
Well, there you go.
I can go for a butterbeer right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, Mike, let's turn the attention onto you. And you were invited.
That's just where I like the attention to be.
Wow.
You're quite the podcaster. You went to the press event, this big Coca-Cola Star Wars collaboration press event held at Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. So tell us all about this and make us really jealous, because we got an invite, but it was so
vague
and enigmatic that we thought this has got to be a scam. What is this? Because it never said Star Wars on it, or I think it said something like Coke, and that was it.
It was very vague. But regardless, we want to hear about your experience, Mike.
I benefited from having my boss, Benji, I guess, filtering through his own emails and figuring out what was going on and then forwarding that information on to me. So when I heard about it, I did know that it was Star Wars related. And this was about a week and a half ago down at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. It was in the extended queue area for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. They had the displays set up. They had interview opportunities for the media and the influencers that got invited there. And they had a big kind of 20-minute presentation on the stage where they talked about this whole new Refresh Your Galaxy campaign. And they debuted that commercial that we're going to talk about in a little while. They also had a stand where you could try out the Holo Creator app that you can access using the QR codes on the can.
And what we're
Nice.
looking at right here are some of your pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here we go. Here's like a big stand with all the display of all the Coke cans and bottles. A little bit of a close-up here. We have an Ahsoka can and a Darth Maul can. And on these bottles, I guess the bottle labels are kind of small, honestly. Who is this? Is
That's
this Obi-Wan? Okay,
Yeah.
and then
And there's
Boba Fett. Yeah. And then, so they have them all nicely displayed in these Coca-Cola
I want one of those
containers,
coolers.
these shipping containers. These shipping container coolers. They're pretty
right,
neat.
That would be cool to get your hand on those.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so one of the features. Oh, there's you and Chewbacca.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, they also
Very
had
nice.
characters out to meet. I met Chewbacca and R2-D2 at the same time, which was kind of a unique combo. So I thought that was fun. There was also a cosplay station, which they had a bunch of lightsabers and helmets and different kind of props that you could hold. I chose Moff Gideon's Dark Trooper armor helmet and the dark saber to go along with it, and a cloak. I had to put on a cloak with that too. But there were a lot of different options, and people were posing for photos in front of the Coca-Cola Star Wars backdrop.
There was the holo projector.
Yes.
Tell us what that's all about.
So you scan the QR code on the packaging for this new campaign, and it brings you to this thing called the Holo Creator, which allows you to make a hologram message for friends or family. And you can select from 4 different Star Wars classes. Like there's a Jedi, a Rebel pilot. I'm blanking on what the other 2. Oh, a trooper is one of the other ones, like a stormtrooper. And then there's one more that I can't remember, but
probably a smuggler or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. You create your own character basically, and then it scans your face, so it's you from the neck up, but then you create what the rest of you looks like. And there's different props, like virtual props for you to hold, and you can create. There's like gestures that you can choose from, and then you record your message, and it sends it off to whoever you choose, your friend or family member, and they can play it in augmented reality, which means like they'll see the hologram on their phone, but it'll look like it's projecting on the surface that they're looking at, like desktop or coffee table or whatever.
Yeah, we tried doing it today because some stores in our area have released some of these cans and bottles, and we got a whole bunch, and we tried doing the QR code, but it said page not found.
Yep.
So I guess they're waiting until Monday
July
the 7th.
Yep.
To have this go live.
So excited.
And then you also walked home with some swag.
Yes.
Show us what you got.
So I'm actually wearing the shirt they gave me, which is, it's sort of a different color scheme of what you guys are wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the shirts, the ones you have were given out at Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019 in promotion of Galaxy's Edge when that was about to open, or had just opened, or one of those. And then on the back of so this is the same Arabesh Coca-Cola logo, but it's in red on black instead of white on red like you have. And then on the back it has, I think, Anakin. It would be tough for me to turn around.
We'll tell you.
It would be tough for me to turn around where I'm sitting right now, but I think it's Anakin fighting Obi-Wan. And then they also gave me a very, very cool jacket that has the Coca-Cola logo and Din Djarin's helmet from The Mandalorian. And then on the bottom there, he's driving the speeder bike.
Wow.
Yeah. And on the front, it
really
has
cool.
the Arabesh logo again.
That is
And
cool.
it's like red and black with black trim.
Yes.
Beautiful.
A container of Coca-Cola Star Wars coasters with the artwork from the cans. Yep.
I almost stole that Ahsoka from you yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. You should practice your sleight of hand. You probably could have gotten away with it. And then some Star Wars Coca-Cola socks.
Love
Man.
That's amazing.
Oh boy. Oh, we're glad that you got it. We didn't, but we're glad that you got it.
Sorry.
And also at this event was the premiere of this 2.5-minute Coke commercial.
Yes, they showed it twice actually. They showed it at the beginning of the presentation, and then they showed it again. I was moved. I was pretty moved by this ad, which is, it's a ad for Coke, but it is done in a very genuine, fan-focused kind of way. that felt.
Yeah, we'll go over that in just a couple
okay.
of minutes. So
Sure.
hold back your reviews and Easter egg findings.
Where did they screen this? I didn't catch where you were watching it.
Yeah, this was in that same area. They had a stage set up back.
So it was outside?
It was outside. Yeah, again, kind of in the sunlight, which is adding a little bit of glare on the screen there, but it was still in that outside extended queue area for Smuggler's Run.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, usually for promotions like Refresh Our Galaxy, they're held for like film releases.
Right.
And right now, Coke is doing their big Jurassic World campaign right over here.
Yeah, so we got this is Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, which is owned by
Pepsi,
Coke.
Right?
Well, no, I think this is owned by Coke. So when I heard about this, I thought, wait a minute, is something new coming? Have they been holding back? Is there like a new series coming out or anything else? I was utterly confused.
So for me, it felt kind of a bit of that summertime push. You're going to the theme parks, kind of back. I would say kind of piggybacking on that dynamic of just what summertime fun can be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was putting way too much thought into this.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'm going to cut in. Can I cut in for a second? I looked it up. Believe it or not, and I had no idea about this. Dr. Pepper is neither owned by Coke or Pepsi. It's its own thing.
Yeah, I just looked this up too. Yeah.
But Coca-Cola does have its equivalent, which is called Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
I have heard that the Coca-Cola company holds the manufacturing rights for Dr. Pepper in Europe. And Pepsi has the rights in other markets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're all correct.
And they are Texas.
There you go. They're their own country.
Let me tell you.
All right, so
I'm a Dr. Pepper girl.
All right, but either way, whenever you see these big promotions on soda cases and cans, it's always in relation with a film release.
Right.
So I really thought that Disney and Lucasfilm were holding out on us. So what is this new thing? Is this how we're notified by a Coke can?
First they tell us Palpatine returns in Fortnite, and now we find out about the next round.
Yeah, so it wasn't that big of a surprise, knowing how sometimes their reveals are very odd.
Yeah.
Mike, what did you think when you first heard of this promotion?
I didn't quite know what to expect until I got to the event itself. Like I was kind of like, what? Yeah, kind of like you guys. Like, what is this in promotion of? But yeah, I think I kind of landed where Rebekah was. It's just kind of a celebration of Star Wars in general. And I actually said this to somebody who worked for Lucasfilm at the event. I said, it's actually kind of a good time to do this because it is kind of a dry spell for Star Wars. We don't have a major project. There's no movie coming out this summer. The TV shows are, we don't have anything really until the fall. There's the new Lego Rebuild Your Galaxy Season 2. There's Star Wars Visions Season 3 in October. And then there's no movie until May of next year. And then we're not expecting another live action show until I think probably late next year.
Well, what do you think about Ahsoka? That might come out this December. If they're going to release shows like they have been in the past, it might come out this December.
I highly doubt it will come out this year, but you might be right. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say fall to 2026 for Ahsoka season 2.
And just as somebody who kind of follows Coca-Cola marketing a little bit, they've been focused on kind of making memories, share moments together. They had that whole campaign recently where they had like names on Coke bottles. So, here, share a Coke with, and it would be, a friend's name or that kind of thing. And then I know my son on the Disney Cruise Line, they had in the teen area, some sort of like interactive dynamic where they would have fun activities with the kids, and they were kind of encouraging them to do some sort of hashtags regarding making memories along with the Coke branding kind of dynamic. So I feel like Disney and Coke are seemingly working together more in this memory making. So the hologram seems like kind of the next step in that. That's kind of where my brain went.
They just had a huge success with the Marvel promotion with Coke. Not too long ago. So it does make sense.
So I think that's the story then, is really sharing memories, sharing your Star Wars memories with your loved ones, with friends, and the Holo creator is the best way to do that.
Yeah. Now, StarWars.com posted a really nice breakdown of where you can find each design. Now, on the original taste of Coke, you can find Lando Calrissian, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Queen Padme Amidala, Kylo Ren, Ahsoka Tano, Darth Maul, K2SO, Boba Fett, Poe Dameron, The Mandalorian, Cassian Andor, General Grievous, and Emperor Palpatine.
Now, Richard, which Coke original taste did we get? Which design?
We just got Darth Maul.
Woo! Yeah, he's pretty cool. Now, we did discover, though, in the 12-pack that you only get one design per 12-pack.
That's
FYI.
Yeah, that's chintzy. Come
That's
on.
a lot of
Get
12
ready to
packs you
buy
gotta
30 cases of cola.
Exactly.
Yeah, or go to 7-Eleven and buy them individually. It may
Right.
cost you a fortune, or you can wait until you can get them on eBay. 'Cause someone is about to do this.
Now, what I'm really excited about is they have designs in Coke Zero Sugar, which is what I drink, or I drink Diet Coke. But I just can't stomach the original taste Coke.
Too
But
sweet.
It's a lot of calories. All right, so Zero Sugar Coke
We'll delete that part too.
is Darth Vader, Yoda, Princess Leia Organa, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, Han Solo, BB-8, C-3PO, R2-D2, Finn, Rey, Grogu, and an Imperial Stormtrooper.
Now, at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, you can find the chase designs of the Mandalorian and Grogu, a First Order Stormtrooper, and Chewbacca. Now, you would think they would have Rey or Doc Ondar or Vi Maradi or someone who's...
Oh, Doc Ondar would be
yeah,
so
it would be
cool.
great.
Oh, yes.
So that leads me to a question for this esteemed panel. Will these be in Galaxy's Edge, or will these be in the theme park but not Galaxy's Edge?
Well, the way they've been doing things now is they've been just willy-nilly putting the merchandise in Galaxy's Edge that technically doesn't belong there according to the Imagineers.
Well, they've been changing
they're
their
gonna be
rules.
everywhere. Is my opinion.
It would be smart to do it at Galaxy's Edge. That's where you're going to have your captured audience.
Well, and it would be cool to have them in the bullet,
those round thermal detonator
design. That would be amazing. It would be cool if they did the thermal detonators in all of the 30 characters, right?
If you go and watch, I don't know if you guys have watched that presentation that they gave at the media event. Just going back to the thermal detonator bottles, the representative they had from Coca-Cola during that presentation talked about the incidents where people were getting stopped at airport security at the TSA because of the resemblance to a fictional explosive device, which I thought it was not something I ever thought I would hear from a Coke representative in an official Coke presentation. But I think I'm so used to Disney being very protective and less than transparent about certain things, and the Coke guy was very open to like joking and talking about that. I was surprised by that and appreciated it.
And I also want to ask the esteemed panel kind of a Sophie's Choice question.
Oh,
taking out what the flavor dynamic is, simply looking at team original taste versus team zero sugar. Which one, if you had to pick, which one are you choosing? Like looking at the characters that are involved. So like original taste, you're gonna get Lando and Obi-Wan and Queen Amidala, but you're not gonna get R2 or C-3PO or what. So I'm like I say, it's a Sophie's Choice kind of dynamic here. I was just curious if you can make a pick.
Just choosing between the sets of characters. Okay.
Yeah, like pick the original. You have to choose original choice, original taste, or zero sugar, and not because of the soda, but because of who's listed.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, I think I would just want to get them all, but yeah.
This is a Sophie's
I
choice.
know, but that's why
you gotta pick one.
That's why I would be shot because I can't choose which characters that I want. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So well, how about you guys?
Yeah. Well, I would have to. I mean, there are more characters on Coke Original Taste, plus Ahsoka Tano's there, And her design, her character design, I just think is beautiful, which is why I should have snagged that the swag that Mike
the
got.
coaster.
Yeah, that coaster.
Well, don't tell him because in case he'll never invite us over again.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So I guess Coke Original Taste Team.
All right, but now let me ask everyone right now, are we going to invest in all of these cans? Or are we gonna do the chase around Los Angeles to try to find everyone to add to our collection? Because I spent the better part of summer 1999 going to every single convenience store trying to get the Phantom Menace cans. And that drove me and my friends crazy. And I got them all except for that elusive Yoda gold can. Yes.
Yeah, so Richard, you got all these.
I got just seeing this right now brings back flashbacks of having to go to every single store looking for every single can.
These are so cute.
They are very cute.
My goodness.
Chancellor Valorum got a can.
Yeah.
And I believe I still do have some cans that have Pepsi in them. Yeah,
no.
That is not a good thing to do. I gotta find them. I guess I should look for the bugs.
Yeah.
That'll lead me right to them. What I actually did with my Phantom Menace Pepsi cans, I drilled a hole in the bottom of the can, let all the soda drip out. Then I had to pour soapy water in to wash out the inside of the can. I had a lot of time back in 1999. I did this repeatedly throughout the whole summer.
Wow. Wow. All right, well, we didn't go back. So which team would you guys choose? So, Rebekah.
I'm all in on Zero Sugar.
Oh.
Leia, R2, Grogu, Luke. That they like bing bing bing. I'm good.
You mean this like Princess Leia?
That artwork is so beautiful. I'm really hoping that we see them offer this in other, like, I would love glasses. I would purchase t-shirts. I mean, the coasters that Mike received are beautiful. I'm hoping that maybe we'll see them, offer this in something other than soda cans, since that's not the most easy. Yeah, like you were saying, it's not necessarily something I'm going to collect. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to go find those sodas maybe, but the artwork is so pretty. I really do hope that we see it kind of in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, I guess when you scan this QR code on the can.
So actually, Richard, it's up here. I think we scanned the wrong one.
Oh.
Scan, create, share.
Oh.
So it's this. So, we can try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, hold it up. I was about to take a picture of it. It's very funny.
That's good to know. There's 2 QR codes on the cans.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Analyzing cookies. Advertising cookies. Take all the damn cookies off. Oh my God. All right. Reject all. All right. So all we're getting right now is summer scratch off. Now this is 2 days before the actual thing becomes.
All right. So you can't initiate
you can't do it yet
until later on.
Yeah.
I'm really eager to see how this is going to work out.
So here you go if you want to take a picture.
So don't be like us and scan the wrong QR code.
Yeah.
All right. With that, let's talk Easter eggs.
Yeah, we want to talk about this Coca-Cola Star Wars Refresh Your Galaxy commercial. So 2.5 minutes. Mike, it's time for you to get out your notes.
Yes.
And Rebekah, time for you to get out your feels.
Oh, I know.
There's a ton of these. A ton of these that I would label if you know Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And the description on YouTube says, amidst a disturbance on movie night, Coca-Cola inspires dad and son to save the show.
What we're going to do is on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to add to the stage our commercial, and we're going to play through it and kind of go shot by shot.
We'll narrate it and talk about the Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever you guys want to weigh in, tell us to pause.
Okay. Well, I kind of have my notes are divided into 2 sections. I have I made a list of every character that I could find represented in the cosplay, because it's a bunch of fans going to a Star Wars movie marathon in a movie theater, and most of them are dressed up as different Star Wars characters. So I listed every character that I could spot, and then I have another list of just kind of assorted odds and ends and Easter eggs.
You know what? Just throw out any comments whenever you see fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So first, we're opening up on a
Starfield.
starry night.
He's going
Camera
down.
pans down to a cosplay as Darth Vader, and he's wearing the Black Series Hasbro helmet with the red lenses, and I know that's the Hasbro Black Series because that sculpt is not.
Yeah.
I don't like the sculpt in that.
It does look off. I did notice in general, I will say, I think I noticed that none of the cosplays are exact matches for the characters. And I think my guess is that that's intentional on Lucasfilm's part. Like, they didn't want it to seem like it was the character doing these things. They wanted to make it seem like it's fans dressed as these characters that are doing these things.
Well, you do see a lot of the cosplayers without their masks and helmets, so
Right.
I think watching this, we know that they're cosplayers going to a movie night.
It is very clear. So I think they did it right because we know that it's just fans. It's not like Ahsoka doesn't show up.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mike knows which character I am surprised is not in this. So I don't want him to say, and then when it's all done, I'll see if you guys also notice and are surprised. Okay.
A Hujib? No? Okay, we'll play it. All right, here we go. So Darth Vader is walking, and then we see a movie theater that says Star Wars Movie Marathon. You see all these cosplayers outside.
Should point out that it's the Coca-Cola movie theater, which I don't think is something that really
I
exists.
love that.
It is a giant Coca-Cola sign in lights.
Yes.
All right, the camera cranes down.
I already had feels though right now. Like I was already, because all the memories of waiting in line with my friends for when Phantom Menace came and all the excitement and camping out in front of the theater down there in Newport. And then that night, well, I think it's more the second that I remember that night, but they had these huge inflatable Death Star beach balls and lightsabers, and it was like a huge party before the movie started. I mean, the intense excitement. And so like just that, the movie kiosk and these fans out front brought back all this wave of memory from those years.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, what the feels that I got was from Balin's skull right in the middle of the frame.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a cosplayer there.
How
as
did you even
Balin's-
notice him? My goodness.
Because
He
he's right in
shows
the
up
center.
later again, too.
Okay.
Well, when I first saw this, right in the center of the frame, and he's talking to a stormtrooper with a lightsaber. So there's a Ralph McQuarrie reference right there.
Oh my goodness.
Now, the poster art that's on the entrance to the theater there, to me, that looks like it might be the Darth Vader Coke can cover. Is that right? Or is that...
Yes, you are correct. We're looking at
you're talking about this tiny
We're
little...
looking at the box right in
Okay.
back of us, and it does match that art.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh,
so there's a couple of Tusken Raiders standing
Yeah.
there, and I love me some Tusken Raiders. So that really called out to me.
A purple
All right, so-
saber.
Yeah.
Purple sabers, and here's the kid, the kid who's the star of the commercial. He's all excited about watching the film, and here comes Darth Vader. Right? Oh, his cape flowing. Look at his
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
cape flowing.
Oh, okay. Now Darth Vader's revealed as the dad.
The dad, yes.
To this kid, although he's kind of I don't know, he's a young man. Really.
He kind of looks like Wim from Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, is he dressed now as Obi-Wan?
He just dressed as a Jedi.
I would say generic Jedi, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see a couple of X-Wing pilot cosplayers in the background. They're taking selfies.
They're walking into the theater.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move along here. Oh, okay. So the dad and the son are now walking through the concession area of the theater, and there's a couple of stormtroopers at a table. There's an Imperial commander.
And this has Cantina band like music happening, so you really have that sense of the kind of that Mos Eisley soundtrack.
Yeah.
The lady in the center of the frame right now
Yeah.
with the hooded cloak on, I couldn't place what character that was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that is.
I think that's the Emperor.
Oh, could be Palpatine,
Really?
yeah.
I think by the way the hands are this cosplayer knows the Palpatine stances with the hands.
You do
Palpatine
see,
is gripping his popcorn.
yeah, we do see
Yes.
that person in a close-up later on because I do have Palpatine on my list here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this kid, let's call him Wim, okay?
Yeah, he looks like Wim.
So Wim passes by Greedo.
Yeah.
And he comes up to the concession stand counter,
Which is a nice bar.
Yeah, and there's a Leia cosplay down at one end and a Han Solo
no,
cosplay.
a trio of Leia.
Three Leias, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You've got a New Hope, Endor, and
the Hoth Leia.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I was just focusing on Leia because she's the one moving around, so I was focusing on her. And wow, that's a good call.
Yeah, you're right.
And the New Hope Leia is staring at Han Solo like, hey, hey.
Staring down the bar counter.
Yeah, what are you doing later on?
Making eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and he's making eyes at her. Oh, there's Chewie. Chewie shows up.
Now Chewie looks like Chewie.
Yes, he does. He this is not the Galaxy's Edge Chewie. This is like an official Chewbacca. All right, there's Wim and the dad having a good time here.
And they're giving a Coke.
Have a Coke and a smile.
That's a nice shot right
we
there.
We dissolve to the movie theater, and they are knee deep in watching A New Hope.
But we have so many characters right here in this row of people.
Mike, go ahead and call out these characters.
Yeah.
Okay, there's somebody with a Yoda mask on. The Yoda mask is tilted up on there.
That's the Ben Cooper Yoda mask.
Yeah. There's a Count Dooku next to Yoda, and then I believe that's CSC Tien from the Jedi Council.
Yes.
Wow.
I think a Tusken Raider next to that person. Yeah.
Who can't see the movie because his mask is on.
Sacrificing for his craft.
Yes.
Okay, and then the rest are out of focus. Okay, here's another angle. So, Mike, who do we see here?
We got Queen Amidala behind our two main characters. Okay, I need to get your opinion on this guy with the cowboy costume on there, because he looks like he stepped out of like a Sergio Leone.
Either that or Back to the Future 3.
Right.
Is he supposed to be Cad Bane?
I was thinking Cad Bane, but he doesn't have his face painted blue, or I was a little thrown by that.
It reads to me as the other cowboy in Mando.
Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vanth. But Cobb Vanth has he has a red handkerchief. Yeah. I don't know. He didn't.
Oh, because he doesn't have the red handkerchief.
Yeah, and I don't think Cobb Vanth wears a hat like that. I don't know.
No,
I was
doesn't.
thrown by this character.
That's a Cad Bane hat.
Yeah. I would say Cad Bane, and he just didn't get the memo to paint his face.
then why put him up front and center there? He is too prominent in this frame if they didn't know who he was. But yet, Queen Amidala, with all her beautiful makeup and her costume, she is behind Wim.
Well, she gets a big shot later.
Yeah, she does. And she's wearing a very big headdress.
Which I feel sorry for
the person behind. If that person behind her is
There's
not
a Jawa behind her.
Oh, no, so that's not even fair.
Jawa.
You need to sit a Wookiee. You need to sit a Wookiee behind her.
Is the individual next to the cowboy a Jawa, just very big Jawa?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
There's also a First Order stormtrooper with his helmet tilted up next to Amidala, and then Kit Fisto to our left.
I see.
Of that.
I love right between Wim and his dad in the back. You can see the little glowing yellow Jawa eyes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
so
Jawas
cute.
in the background as the shots get wider in this theater.
But the fact that you can only see the eyes, like in A New Hope, when the Jawas are spying on R2, you see the little glowing eyes in the rocks.
It's very cute.
All right, now let's see here. They're clinking their Coke bottles. Oh, so they're watching A New Hope.
Okay, so I have a lot to say right here. It is A New Hope. It's the scene where we meet again at last. It's the meeting between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Death Star. It is in the wrong aspect ratio. This is in 1:85:1 aspect ratio. A New Hope, like all of the Star Wars films, is shot in CinemaScope 2.35:1. So I don't know how they got that wrong, but that you would never see this projected in that aspect ratio in a movie theater. It is very interesting that it's shown on film, which is very rare these days, though not completely unheard of. As we know, recently there was a screening of an original print of this movie shown in England on 35 millimeter film. So it does happen every once in a while, but it doesn't happen too often.
You see the sprocket holes on the sides of the film, and kids are going, what are those holes? What is that? Yeah, so apparently the film has jumped the gate in the film projector. Yeah. So now the movie's got to stop because they got to realign the film.
Have you ever experienced this in person?
Yes, the very last time I saw Star Wars in a movie theater was the special edition, and the film had jumped over the sprockets, And it did like 3 or 4 times. I kept telling the projectionist, hey, can someone keep an eye on this? They never did. So the whole Death Star battle, I had to watch half the frame.
Oh,
and
no.
I knew it was the last time this was going to be shown. So I had to sit there and just take it.
Oh, how sad.
And very, very sad. Last time, too. All right. So now the crowd is going crazy. They're going berserk. Here's a Jawa standing up. He ain't going to take this. He can go anywhere else, get this kind of abuse. He doesn't need it here.
There was Boba Fett.
Boba
right?
Fett, not wearing gloves. Not wearing gloves.
Yeah, let's go back. Okay. Oh, but he's holding his Coke
He's
bottle.
holding his Coke with a nice pinpoint of light hitting the top of the bottle.
Yep.
All right. The crowd is going crazy.
Ooh.
There's 2 projectionists.
Here, go to the projection room.
R2 and 3PO. And 3PO's got his face mask removed. And there's a Nick Frost type of R2-D2 standing there.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I see. The faceplate being off of C-3PO is what led me to believe that Lucasfilm does not want it to make it seem like it's the characters doing these things. Because, if you're dressing as C-3PO, you would have the faceplate on.
I would think that everyone would know that this R2-D2 is not a real screen-used R2-D2.
Correct.
Wearing a hoodie.
But C-3PO is close enough.
Mike caught in the background here.
Yes.
On that poster, Jabba.
the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt, yeah.
But I did want to point out, I was a film projectionist for a decade. This looks as though it was shot in a actual projection booth. There are 2 film projectors set up as though they were being run reel to reel, or changeover, as we would call it. So it looks authentic enough for this particular incident to happen. Something would have gone horribly, horribly wrong for him to get tangled in the film like that.
Can you recover from something like this if the film is so...
You gotta wind the film back up. It's gonna take a while.
It would just take a little while. Exactly.
Okay.
All right, now...
there's Amidala.
There's Amidala.
It's a great shot of her. She's all upset.
Yeah, oh yeah, she ain't gonna take this.
And the cowboy again.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Wim. He's sunk way down in his seat. His dad's looking at him like, Wim, come on, sit up. Everyone's leaving. There's that cowboy. Now, what's the deal with this? What's the deal with this cowboy? Why is he right there in the center of the frame? There's got to be a story behind this. Unless it is like you were saying, the Sergio Leone reference, but for the Mandalorian.
I don't know, but like my eye always went to Amidala. We're watching this frame by frame, shot by shot. Most people just watching this, their eyes will go to either the father and the son or the Amidala right there.
Mm-hmm. Here comes my favorite part.
Taking a big swig of Coke. Refreshing.
Wait, is
and
it
then
refreshing
this next
his
shot,
galaxy?
So good.
And the background doors are opening, which is letting in some light, but that light strip is aligned with the top of the Coke bottle, so it looks like he's igniting his lightsaber Coke bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
That is probably the best moment.
I'm wondering how many times, how many shots it took them to get that just right.
Yeah, that could be an optical effect.
Yeah, it could be.
So pretty.
Or it's easy enough to go, okay, Wim, hold it centered, another centimeter to your left, to your right, hold it up, and here we go. Close up on his eye. Oh, he's got an idea. He is igniting his own blue lightsaber. Mm-hmm. And he turns, does a Jedi's lightsaber spin.
No, but he was in the pose of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right. Oh, yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi pose. And his dad has put on his... Oh, look at that.
Yeah, like he's about to face off with General Grievous.
Yeah, either that or with Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then... Or Maul, excuse me. Not Darth Maul. And then his dad...
Says, I got an idea.
Puts on his helmet.
Ignites his lightsaber,
red lightsaber.
And wham, they are going to town.
Yeah.
And then everyone else in the theater is like, hey, we want in on this. And they're igniting their own lightsabers and battling. And there's CC-10. Next to Count Dooku and a Jawa in the foreground. They're all getting ideas. They're swinging around their lightsabers.
I want to point out there was someone dressed in those shots that we just went through, someone dressed as Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
he's got the poncho and everything. There's the Mandalorian too in the background.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That Mandalorian, he ain't phased. Like, okay, I'll eat my popcorn. I'll wait until this is over.
Protecting his popcorn.
Total chill.
And there's a guy right there in the center wearing no cosplay whatsoever.
Right. We got a TIE pilot in front of him.
And an X-Wing pilot in back of him.
And the Hoth Leia in the very back.
Yeah.
Now, where are you seeing Cal Kestis?
That guy right there, center frame.
Oh, okay. Swinging around his lightsaber?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
And I love the Plo Koon all the way to the right because he's wearing those alien sunglasses.
Yeah.
Like very 60s. I think Davy Jones once wore those in the Monkees.
Oh, that's Kit Fisto, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what did I say?
Plo Koon.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto. Now let's move on a little more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Pause.
Yeah, this. Oh. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's get on this one here. All right, so Rebekah and Mike, who do you see here? They're cheering on Wim and the dad.
There is a full-size K2SO, it looks like, and a Cassian Andor with some stormtroopers around them.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, he's got a Coke in his hand.
Yep.
Yeah, and this Wim kid.
Look at all the Jawas.
I love the mixture where some people have a soda can and they're holding it up as if it's a lightsaber, and other people actually have a lightsaber, and then you have these cosplay dynamics, and then you have like random person in just a Star Wars t-shirt, not just, like what I would be doing, just in a Star Wars t-shirt as I'm sitting next to my friend Mike, who is Lodekin Fendo.
Now, one of my biggest pet peeves of all time is people who put their shoes up on furniture.
Yes.
Hear those kids walking all over the seats. Like, oh, that would drive me crazy.
You're about to get very upset.
That was definitely one of my notes. You would never get away with this at any movie theater. They would not be happy about you climbing all over the seat.
Unfortunately, we see people with their shoes and socks off and their feet up on seats.
No. This is just an outpouring of emotion, like that gentleman who won at the Oscars.
Roberto Benigni.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Come on.
Even then, it's like, you know what? Take that Oscar back. If you're going to disrespect our furniture, take that Oscar back. All right, so here they are battling. We cut to Cassian and K2SO, and a lot of lightsabers flashing in the air.
Oh.
Wim is this is very much Revenge of the Sith, where Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting, and Obi-Wan's losing his balance on those beams. And who's this? Rebekah?
Some guy who's on the side that I don't cheer for. So
okay.
He's got a cape.
Director
Krennic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Hot off of Andor season 2.
Now, who's this guy with the fist right behind him?
That is Chewbacca Mom.
That is. Oh my God.
Well, this would be Chewbacca Dad.
Right, but they're wearing the Chewbacca mask.
The Chewbacca Mom mask, that growling mask with a Wookiee Snuggie jumpsuit.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Lots of stormtroopers. Oh, okay, now they're battling.
They're spinning. There's some choreography to this lightsaber battle. Very nice. This was the part that is my favorite part right here. I gotta say. Okay, so Mike, talk us through this.
So this is a recreation of the very first shot we ever saw from The Force Awakens, from the original teaser trailer with Finn waking up in the deserts of Jakku, wearing the First Order Stormtrooper uniform with no helmet.
And even the camera movement is the same, how it arcs around him.
Right, and he pops up from the bottom of the frame, and he's like breathing heavy, just like Finn. Yeah.
Oh,
that's great.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say that right now. And here's Boba Fett cosplayer, and he's firing something from his gauntlets, but not really firing, just acting it out.
Well, is this like the Sarlacc pit battle?
Yeah, that's what that made me think of.
Oh.
And then we have a
Sarah,
Bossk. Oh, yes. So we have a Bossk Leia and a Han Solo figure. And she like takes off her helmet like, I love you. Yes, from Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry. Yes, someone who loves you. Yes. Who are you?
Now,
someone who loves you.
Why wasn't this Bossk in that Leia?
The trio.
The trio at the concession stand.
Because you couldn't see the face, so I feel like.
I know. I would love to have seen that Bossk there.
Yeah.
But that is featured on the artwork. The Han Solo, you have the beautiful profile, but then the smaller image that they have in the lower frame is actually him in carbonite and her there at her. It's a rear view, so you see her profile with the carbonite Han, and then the profile of Han in the can art.
So
I thought that was a nice nod to the can art that is coming with the refresh.
I'm just saying, if I were directing this, I would have put Bossk in that preceding
the
scene.
lineup of Leia's. Okay, I have a note about this because I was a little confused about what exactly was going on here, and I had to ask my wife Tori what her read was of this little shot. And we decided that, okay, these are two cosplayers who don't know each other, and they've shown up at this theater, and they've, in this moment where everybody's going nuts and recreating moments from Star Wars, they have decided to recreate that moment. But then it goes a little too far when they're about to kiss, and they realize, oh, we don't know each other. We can't really kiss. So she kind of recoils in horror. That's where we landed on that.
And he has a shocked look, too.
Okay.
It feels like a mutual recognition of, whoa!
Well, this is 2025, so unless you get a letter of consent,
yes,
keep your distance.
There's Balin's skull again in the background, by the way.
Oh yeah, right behind.
I think he's also in the can art.
What?
Right
Really?
over here.
I think
really?
so.
Balin skull is?
Yeah.
And which one? In the Ahsoka one?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think his silhouette's in the background.
No, you're right. It is. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I would have wanted a Q&A at the media event about this whole commercial because I got lots of questions. Like how many days did they shoot? How many camera units did they have? How long did they choreography? How long was that rehearsal?
Right. So many extras too, which is tough to corral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
here's
this is
Ray.
another really great moment.
So good.
Yeah. Okay. So let's watch through this moment for a minute. Ray. And here's a Kylo cosplayer, and they're reaching for a Coke bottle in the middle of them, and it's recreating the Last Jedi moment where they're both reaching for the lightsaber.
And my favorite thing about it is the people actively pulling them both back away from each other as the K2SO is holding the Coke bottle in the middle. So good.
Oh, nice.
And it brought back so many memories of my childhood because we would reenact scenes from the Star Wars films on the playground, right? That's what we would do. And sometimes because I was the shortest person, I was R2D2. So I'm just remembering all of the dynamics of what would go into that, and great memories popping up as I watch this. So it's definitely hitting that feel,
that nostalgic feel, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this kid they got as Kylo Ren, he's a good doppelganger.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Absolutely. And I love the fact how Coke puts their spin on it. They're reaching for that Coke bottle, not a lightsaber. That's great.
And K2 is just very, very calmly holding the bottle.
That's true.
As only he will do. Yeah.
I think also that scene, that shot is kind of emblematic of my favorite thing about this whole ad is that it kind of spans the entire Star Wars franchise and brings all that together. It's got all three movie trilogies. It's got, the Star Wars stories like Rogue One. It's got the TV shows in it. So there's nothing off limits here, and it's all kind of mixed together, which is what I love to see.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, more choreography. Oh. And there's two people picking up lightsabers.
Mm-hmm. And they're fans.
The guy on the right is wearing a classic Marvel Star Wars comic shirt.
Yeah, I think that's actually from Cakeworthy. That's like a new release.
The shirt?
Yeah.
That's the Empire Strikes Back.
I know, but they just released a shirt
Marvel
like that. Yeah.
Cover, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the adaptation cover.
But this is one of those moments that happened that I was like, I want to talk to Celestino about it because it evokes something, but I can't put my finger on it. And I was like, I wonder if Celestino, if it pulled like a specific film moment for you or not, because I feel like the long dark hair on the right, and then this short haircut on the left, and just the way the light. There's something about this setup that I feel like I'm supposed to know what this is, but I don't.
Yeah.
To me, my read of that moment was that even if you didn't come in full cosplay, you could participate in this fan interaction. I didn't connect it to any specific scene, but go ahead.
I did.
Sarah,
I did.
yeah.
All right, so if you continue through, so the guy with the longer hair is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh.
The guy with the shorter spiky hair is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then they reveal reveal Darth Maul. And so
I didn't even make that connection. Yeah.
Your Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon battle in the Phantom Menace.
Gotta play that.
Yeah, so let's go back.
We watched this one shot. It's like we don't get it, but we watched the whole scene.
If you watch it all together, yes.
Yep, you're right.
They got lightsabers,
There's
and
the
then there's the Phantom Menace classic Darth Maul shot where he takes his hood off.
Yes, and then he brings his lightsaber up. So let's.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. See.
Okay. Yeah. Now it makes sense. So thank you, Sarah, for being here. Just let everyone know we're only 10 seconds into the commercial. And now we cut to the balcony, and there's Ahsoka spinning both her lightsabers,
Now, is
and
that Balin?
Balin's skull right
Okay.
above her.
Nice. Now, who's she fighting? Someone in a cloak. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
just
really
someone silhouetted. Yeah.
Yeah.
tell. Okay.
You can't even really see that person. You just see Ahsoka spinning her lightsabers.
Yeah, I only saw Balin right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we get a
close-up
close
of
up on Ahsoka.
Oh, there's Palpatine just sitting back and I created all this havoc.
Yeah,
that was me.
He's watching the opera.
I'm the one who derailed this film.
Now is this Yoda he's sitting next to?
Yes, another Yoda
Oh, that's
mask,
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it should be Anakin though.
Oh, it
they're in the
should be.
balcony of watching like an opera.
That would have been better, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
that
how
was
the
nice.
oversized hand is just very visible. It's just very clear that they've got like costume hands on. You can totally, just see it sitting at the wrist.
Now, if they're going for a Revenge of the Sith nod here with that person off to the side and the Yoda hat, well, they missed their mark because that person is so far. It's like hugging the side of the frame. You don't even really get a chance. Yeah, then they cut away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now here's
Darth Vader's
cutting
walking
back
down
to
the aisle.
the A storyline where the kid does a shoulder roll down the aisle, the whim, and now Vader's about to attack him. He does attack. He
yes.
strikes. Oh, he uses a force push. There's Kit Fisto being blown back.
That's the audio Easter egg in that moment because this beat features the Wilhelm scream.
Nice.
And Mike, what does that sound like?
Ah!
Rebecca, can you beat that?
I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna submit to the master here.
You know what, Rebecca? Just open up your mouth. We'll put it in post. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You sounded just like that Wilhelm.
Oh my God, Rebecca, that was awesome.
Yeah, boy.
Wow, you beat Mike.
All right.
All right, let's continue with
Jedi's
the.
being, and wait a minute now. What are they watching here?
I think it's a projector, so people went up.
Oh, like
to the
shadow
projection
puppets.
room.
Yeah. You can see the shadow grate.
Okay, it's like,
the
hey, we know. Well, right in the foreground, you see the wings.
Yes.
People are doing like little
X-wing
silhouettes
and a
up against the screen.
TIE interceptor.
Okay, yeah.
And they're fighting, but they're using the shadows of them
But
to
that shot goes
create
by
a
so
space
fast.
battle. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, it does go by. That's the first time I noticed it. Whee! That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, pause it. Go back.
And there's a guy walking down the aisle with 2 big things of popcorn, and he's dressed like a black Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And behind him is a ATST walker.
Look at that. I never noticed the ATST. Wow. This is cool.
Oh, and there's a little kid off to the right. What is that?
Okay.
It's like right over here, off to the right. Yeah, it goes by too quick.
No.
And there's 2 X-Wing pilots running for cover. Oh, being chased
nice.
by a TIE interceptor, and the Death Star explodes. The guy's throwing his popcorn all over the place. Right now, that janitor's going, "Come on!
Yeah,
this is not Minecraft.
Crying.
This is not Rocky Horror. Pick that popcorn back up."
They should have. Just like, and the janitor crying could have been slumped against the wall, like the Rancor keeper.
Yes, it could have been
sobbing.
Malak the Rancor.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cutting back.
Right. Oh.
Kids running up those carbon freezing chamber stairs.
Oh yeah! Look at that.
And R2 and 3PO back in the projection room. They've almost got things under control.
Because we know it's all about the droids.
We're back. We are back. The film has been restored.
R2 and 3PO saved the day.
Once again.
Everyone has their lightsabers out.
This looks like the John Williams concert at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Woohoo.
All right.
Yeah,
Film
there we
is
go.
Restored.
And the audience has never been happier. Best day of their lives.
Fantastic.
Now, Mike, did you see any other characters? In this
Well, the Millennium
overhead shot?
Falcon had a cameo in the silhouettes on the screen.
Yes.
There was another guy that I couldn't place that I wanted to ask you about. Probably 5 seconds earlier, there was a gentleman sitting. He's got almost entirely white on and a red necktie, and I was like, "What is that supposed to be?" I have no idea. But
Have we yet?
A shot of the audience?
I'm not sure exactly where. He's in the audience somewhere.
He's dressed in what color? Red and white?
It's an all
white
white suit with a thin red necktie. And I was like,
those are Coke colors.
Yeah, I guess it might be a Coke thing.
That's
might be
a
it.
branding.
Yeah.
He dressed as branding.
Or a lightsaber, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Huh. Yeah, we're looking for
Rebecca,
him.
there's Lenny and Falcon. Oh, the droids have gotten it.
Pause it.
Everyone's.
Oh, no.
Who do you see?
I don't. I just trying to.
A lot
see
of X-wing
white.
pilots. Yeah, those guys like, hey, we're gonna dress in orange.
Yeah.
We will not be missed.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's...
So then the father and the son. Oh, father took off his mask.
Yeah. And
all the
Everyone's
Chewbacca's in the balcony.
Yep.
Yeah. Everyone's cheering.
K2SO is very happy.
Oh, that Chewbacca shot kind of evokes Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Kashyyyk?
All the Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk battle.
Yeah.
Now there's a Wookiee to the right. It looks like he's wearing a Ben Cooper Darth Vader mask.
Oh, weird.
You would think that someone would step in there, right there. Yeah. Like one of those masks with the elastic goes around the back of your head. All right.
Oh, and then we get.
And there's a gonk down in the bottom left.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
Not only is it a gonk, but it's a Kenner power droid. It's an action figure. It's a Kenner power droid. That power droid is like a cardboard standee. Someone's just waving it around. But you gotta love that nod to the Kenner action figures.
Yeah. Next to the gonk is a lady, a person in a wheelchair, and it's a BB-8 wheelchair.
Oh.
And she's kind of bounding as BB-8 as well.
That's awesome.
She's wearing orange. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cute. I can see that.
Love it.
And then you get a tag on this commercial.
Oh.
Which is
And
like a
boom.
double reference.
So, Mike, talk us through this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Boba Fett climbing out of the Sarlacc pit in Book of Boba Fett. But it's all, I mean, that in itself was a reference to Patton Oswalt's filibustering in Parks and Recreation. But yeah, this idea of Boba Fett having escaped the Sarlacc pit goes way back, as you guys know.
But he's not busting out of sand. What's he busting out of?
Popcorn instead. And he's got a Coke, of course, another Coke bottle.
It's all the popcorn that was solidified after the Death Star blew up. All his popcorn. How funny.
And for me, this brought back all the memories, all the fights in the schoolyard over whether or not Boba Fett was dead.
Well, you can go back and call all your friends and say, look, it's in the Coke commercial.
No,
He's not dead.
Heated disputes on either side.
Right. I do like the implication here that the cosplayer in the Boba Fett costume was maybe knocked unconscious during the big interactive recreation of all the scenes and didn't wake up until after everyone had left and was covered in popcorn.
Well, another opportunity. And the lost opportunity.
Yeah. No, I like that implication too. Yeah, because everyone has left. It's an empty theater.
He just stuck around to recreate that scene on his own.
Freeze frame, and then we're out.
Wow. All right.
Can you imagine if he had taken off his helmet and it was Tem?
Maura Morrison.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so I already named my favorite part of the commercial. So what, Rebecca? What was your favorite part of the commercial?
I fell just totally in love with it, with the moment the lightsaber dynamic with the soda. I mean, that was just I can't think of how many times I've done that, where I'm someplace and it evokes whatever I'm holding evokes lightsaber, and so I just decide it is a lightsaber in that moment, and so I just loved that.
All right, Mike.
I think I'll go with Kylo Ren and Rey fighting over the Coke bottle, because it makes me think of my favorite things about Star Wars. This is like, but cramming it all together. It's all part of one big thing, and the idea of all these fans in that moment working together to recreate that scene made me really happy.
And no one's fighting. No one's on social media mocking each other.
Right.
The community.
All one big happy Star Wars community fandom. All right, Sarah.
So I gotta say, like, while I do like that they recreated the Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and
Darth
Maul battle, I think my favorite is also the Rey and Kylo Ren bottle with the Coke, simply because for a Coke commercial to use that reference but then put a Coke bottle in that they're fighting, I think is a great genius idea. It's simple, it works, it's effective, and it works on many different levels.
Well, I wanted to ask you, there was a character to me that was surprisingly missing from all of this. But however, isn't featured in the art, but was missing from this ad, and I feel like has been a little bit higher profile lately. And so I was curious, did anybody jump out from you as wow, I can't believe blank wasn't
Grogu.
Here. Oh,
that is a big omission.
I hadn't even thought about Grogu, but you're not wrong. Grogu.
That's a huge omission.
Like the fact that Mando and Grogu were not kind of featured. I mean, I know Mando was there.
Right. And I would even say more well, we got Wim from Skeleton Crew, but not really. But some more Skeleton Crew references, just referencing more of the more immediate Star Wars content.
Well, Rebekah, are you referring to like a prequel character or an original trilogy character?
This character has been recently returned in the live action. I think of them as a novel, but I'm sure that they also
another blue character.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. So the fact that Cad Bane isn't blue, and then Thrawn wasn't here.
No blue characters were allowed.
No blue. Apparently, you couldn't be a blue character.
There's no Max Rebo.
Max Rebo.
Oh boy, what is happening? What is wrong with the color blue?
No blue. Sorry.
Maybe Coke was like, it's got to be red, people.
Right.
Blue's not the color we want to feature here.
We don't do blue. That's we don't do blue.
Hey, who knows? Maybe.
You never know.
Pepsi is red, white, and blue. I think we could be here for like another hour discussing the characters that were not included. So you know what? We're happy with what we got. Let's just say that.
No, it's
very happy.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you for joining us in refreshing our galaxy with this new campaign, Refresh Your Galaxy. Now, if the Skywalkers want to get a hold of you, where do they go, Rebekah?
Oh, for me, I'm over at Laughing Place, so mostly that's where you'll find me. Sometimes I am posting my adventures over on our X account, but I currently am the curator of our Blue Sky. So over Laughing Place at Blue Sky, that's me sharing what our team has been up to here, there, and everywhere.
Nice.
All right. Mike, when people can't find you over here at Skywalking Through Neverland, where else can they find you?
I am also at laughingplace.com, and I have my own Star Wars podcast called Who's the Bossk, which is on a little bit of a summertime hiatus right now, but I'll be back with more probably around Comic-Con, a little bit after Comic-Con time. Otherwise, I'm on Instagram at Who's the Bossk Pod. You can follow me there.
And then where can our Skywalkers go if they want to see your videos that you took at this press event?
Yeah, just go to the Laughing Place YouTube channel and search for Coca-Cola. I'm sure they'll all come up there.
Okay, great. Yeah, it was a really fun video.
And before I go, I know you have a lot of Star Wars fans that obviously that's the appeal. And I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to the ESPN Star Wars podcast. It may not necessarily be something that they've stumbled on yet, but it's a lot of fun. The team of podcasters there, I've had a chance to meet 2 of 3 of them now, and they are so deeply passionate about Star Wars. Arda Okal, he has an encyclopedic knowledge of the Star Wars universe, including the extended and things like the books that are no longer the legends and all. I mean, he's so knowledgeable. And Ryan McGee, he is really passionate within the motorsports world, and so that is spilled over into the vehicles. So they'll have talk where so obviously the opening scenes of Andor this year with all of him trying out with that TIE machine, he kind of deep dives into that and brings it into some experiences he's had in the real world. So it's a really fun trio of guys. Clinton Yates is such a big fan. His he's a new dad. Child's name is Jedi. So you're dealing with some deep passion, and even though they're under that ESPN umbrella, it is Star Wars talk. So it's called Never Tell Me the Odds, and you can find it in various podcast places. And I just want to make sure y'all know about it.
Okay.
Oh, very interesting. Cool. Love to hear that.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
All right, Skywalkers. Well, don't forget to refresh your galaxy and have a Coke and a smile.
I'd like to buy the Galaxy a Coke.
You and Don Draper.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing with me. Perfect harmony, perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. And the real I'd like to teach the world to sing to perfect harmony, perfectly. And I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company.
Well, that wraps up episode 522 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Rebekah Mosely and Mike Celestino from laughingplace.com for joining us. Now, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on all socials at SkywalkingPod.
Now join us every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for our live YouTube show, Things We Want to Share. That's where we share a whole bunch of stuff that we had done the previous week. We invite you Skywalkers to come on in and share what you've done that week, and we do a whole lot of trivia. We just told Maria in the Sky Chat that we're going to do trivia, and she says awesome.
Woohoo!
Maria loves our Star Wars and pop culture trivia.
That's right. And you can find a lot of bits of trivia in our books, Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2. And these autographed copies of these books are available now from skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book.
Now, do you want to become part of the Skywalking Force? Of course you do. Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon. The Skywalking Force has their own dedicated podcast feed that contains early access to many episodes and bonus content like an entire John Williams Hollywood Bowl concert. Now, this bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So head over there to skywalkingforce.com to have a look at all of the options. And thank you to those who are already part of the Skywalking Force.
Huge thanks.
Now, we also want to thank our sponsors, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park, a Disney cruise, or a Universal Studios theme park? Well, you can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. Or, Sarah, what do? What else can you do? What else?
Rar, 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 rar.
Like a Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus. Yes. All right, we are part of the Skywalking Network. Skynet. Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
Star Warsologies,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and Today in Star Wars History. And a happy 77th birthday to William Hoodkins.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember to have a Coke and a smile.
And
Neverland on Alderaan.
Okay, so clappy clap, please.
So the purpose of this whole episode is to headhunt Mike. So Mike, why don't you come on over and record with us for a while? Because when you hit your 600th visit, which is like another episode, then you're officially a Skywalker.
And don't tell Rebekah.
Back in, I think it was 2007, when the Simpsons movie came out. I think that was the year. They transformed a couple, I think it's one or two 7-Elevens in Los Angeles into Quickie Marts. Mm-hmm. And they were selling Buzz Cola from The Simpsons. And I was like, I'm going to get a case of Buzz Cola and keep it as a souvenir. And I made the same mistake Richard did and did not empty out the cans. And I think probably 3 or 4 years in, they started to leak and got all over everything. And that's why I don't really collect these soda cans anymore. But if I were to do that, I would definitely empty them out and clean them out. So word of warning.
Which is a little different than that projection show that we get in Galaxy's Edge, which just
It stops.
Right.
before the movies that are like supposed to be
I know. Well,
represented there.
that's my whole other theory that Rebekah knows about.
Oh,
about that with her.
Yeah,
Because I have this theory that they're gonna shift the timeline of Galaxy's Edge. And,
that would be smart.
Yeah, and now that's the reason why that projection show ends at Return of the Jedi. But we'll see.
The projections for episodes 1 through 6, and then thanks for coming, everybody. Drive safely. I mentioned a favorite part, but I forgot what it was, so we'll edit this part out.
Okay. Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't take place, that didn't make it into the show.
Just like that one. Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.